This is a 84.77 ounce Cincinnati poured silver bar.
Yes.
Poured silver bar, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. And so I was willing to trade some of my silver for this. And that's kind of the way I used to do my silver back in the day. I mean, I've got some gold from you that way and some other deals we made with just a trade. And so as you guys know, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know I really like vintage silver. I kind of put that on the back burner for a while, but when Phil showed me this bar right here, I had to have it. Because these are extremely rare. So let's talk about this bar a little bit before we get into that. And can't get over no further. Well, enough of that. Hi everyone, Silver Joker here. Okay, so I'm on my way to see Phil, Franklin Street Coin. He has a silver bar there that I am particularly interested in. I want that silver bar. It is a vintage Cincinnati Refining 84 ounce silver bar, and I'll talk about the significance of that. I'm super excited about this. I want to try to get this bar without using any cash. I'm going to try to do a trade with him, and we'll see what happens. So if you're interested in how this is going to go, stick around. So Cincinnati, this is Cincinnati Refinery?
It was called Cincinnati Gold and Silver Refinery. Yeah, practiced their talents back in the turn of the century, late 1800s, early 1900s. Sat on the Ohio River, and since it's gone out of business, I don't know the exact date they've gone out of business, but this is one of their poured bars that they vintage, obviously.
It is beautiful.
But they manufactured, a lot of their manufacturing was in the larger bars, and they did some smaller bars also, but they preferred to do bigger bars, like the 80.
Now I did go and try to find some of these. They're extremely hard to find, and the ones that you do find are the 14 ounce. I think I've seen a 14.5 ounce or something like that. Some 5 ounce and some 10 ounce, and the premiums are through the roof. I mean, for any of these, the premiums are crazy on these. And rightfully so, because this is a tier 1 bar. The tier 1 bar just means it's extremely rare, hard to find. And part of that is because, Cincinnati Gold, how do you say it again? Cincinnati?
It was Cincinnati Gold and Silver Refinery.
Right, are no longer around. So these bars, so what's out there is out there, that's it. Highly collectible. And so I traded Phil some silver for it. I won't go into the exact numbers of how much, but it was a fantastic deal. I think I got the better end of the deal. To be honest with you. I think I got the better end of the deal, but if anything happens and this bar has to go somewhere, it will come back to you. I promise you that.
Thank you.
It will come back to you, but I think it'll probably be one of my descendants that'll probably be.
Yeah, that's probably that would be a cornerstone if you're collecting bars or anything, even just silver.
Yes, I am so happy with this.
It's a cornerstone to any type of collector that does any type of silver bars. These are very scarce.
Yes. Okay, so in other, I guess, information and news, I have a few investments. I have a few stocks. And one of the companies that I'm invested in has nothing to do with mining, just bought 22% stake in a mining company. And the mining company is reported to, their experts say that there's probably 15 million ounces of gold and about 600 million ounces of silver that this mine can produce. Wow. And I just want to get your thoughts on that because, like I said, this company has nothing to do, and I won't say because we don't want to seem like we're giving out, investment advice. So I won't say the name of the company, but if you invest, you know the name, you know what we're talking about. What would be the advantage of a company that has nothing to do with mining buying into a silver and gold mine?
I'm sure a lot of people have talked to financial advisors. I'm not.
Neither am I.
A financial advisor, but every time I speak with customers that come in, they always say, my financial advisor said this. And we seem to always hear the same thing, that never used to be as much, but I hear it more and more today, is the fact that financial advisors are recommending putting a little bit of silver and gold in your portfolio. So I think that goes hand in hand with what we just mentioned, that
Right.
you have companies that are perhaps doing that on a larger scale than just buying a few ounces of gold and silver and putting it in your own portfolio. Perhaps they're diversifying into a larger scheme of things.
I didn't even look at it that way. So
doing-
they're actually buying, basically, in a more roundabout way. They're investing in silver and gold as well.
Exactly, yeah.
But 600 million ounces sounds like a lot of silver. What kind of effect is that going to have?
I mean, I recently read that because I was curious about how much silver is actually used, in the United States, and in all aspects of silver use. It's about 8,000 metric tons, which is a lot of silver every year. I mean, that's a lot of silver being used. And again, when we say being used, we're not saying it's being used up.
Right.
So it can be, down the road, it can be
Recycled, reclaimed.
reused, it can be remelted, it can be reused for other purposes. But so that number, if you do the math, and we kind of did the math very quickly, but it comes out to just under 300 million troy ounces of silver a year. Okay. Now, looking at that, it sounds like a whole lot. But if you look at the population of the United States, that would not even allow everybody in 1 year in the United States to buy 1 ounce of silver. There would not be enough silver to go around for everybody to buy 1 ounce of silver. So you can see that as people jump into the silver market, and we've kind of been talking about this before, and we've kind of alluded to it, the fact that as new people jump into the silver market and want to buy silver, rounds, bars, things like that, there's only so much physical silver out there that's in a form that can be sold. So it creates a supply and demand issue. So you see premiums go up, you see dealers having to pay more to get it, you see people having to pay more to get it, take it home, which is, equates to the premium we just referred to. And you can see why just a twitch in terms of not being able to bring it up out of the ground, or transportation issues, or any other issues that create just a blip in the supply of silver, can create a
Cascading effect through
really
the whole system.
disastrous effect on dealers. and
Like
things
what
that are
we
trying
just had with this pandemic situation.
Yes, where you can find it, but it just trickles in instead of coming in. It just trickles in, and of course, when it just trickles in, you've got multiple people that are searching for the same thing.
Right.
And like anything else, then you get a supply and demand issue.
That blows my mind that you said, because that's so true. Because if that's the kind of silver that's being consumed each year, you're right. If every person in America wanted to buy a single ounce of silver, they'd be short. They wouldn't be enough to go around.
Right.
So I can see it. So it wouldn't have to be, like I said, it wouldn't have to be a total lack of silver. Just the supply, the logistics could really affect.
Just a matter of just like you say, it's a commodity that just is, it's available when you find it. It doesn't seem like it's that scarce, but in reality, if you do look at the numbers, it could turn out to be extremely scarce.
And demand is growing all the time. Every day, leaps and bounds. People are getting into the physical silver market every day, and so that's adding more strain on the supply. And
I think that's what we're seeing, and I think throughout the country, maybe even the world. If you multiply that worldwide, then I think it's the same issues that take effect worldwide. Is the fact that you just don't see a lot of whole lot of silver. In fact, a lot of refineries right now are on a 6 or 8 week delay in terms of shipping. They're that far behind in terms of being able to manufacture 999 silver and getting it out to the consumers. So
just have some. Just you don't have to go all in, but just have something with intrinsic value that's physical that you can have access to. Would be practical for your financial health. All right. This is not financial advice, of course. You got to consult your own expert for that. But I appreciate it, Phil, and I'm going to enjoy the heck out of this bar.
Yeah, go home
And
good look at
oh
it.
man, I'm gonna probably sleep with this under my pillow. I'm gonna kick my wife out of bed and put this on. No, I better quit. I recorded that. I better edit that out of there. Anyway, thanks a lot. I don't blame it on you, Phil. Thanks a lot, man.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so there you have it. Phil's got a point. You know, if every person in America wanted to buy a single ounce of silver, just 1 ounce of silver, that would be a lot of ounces of silver. So how many ounces of silver are produced every year just in the United States versus how many people are actually stocking physical silver? And you'll see where, you know, it wouldn't take much, just a tiny blip in the logistics, in the mining, refining, and producing silver products that we can buy, that could lead to significant issue in the supply chain. I invest in a few other things. I don't just have silver, as I told you guys before. I don't just have physical bullion that I have for my financial health, but you really need to be diversified. I don't want to seem like I'm giving you financial advice. I wouldn't do that. Anyway, I appreciate you guys stopping by. An 84.77 ounce Cincinnati gold and silver refining bar is going to be the crown jewel in my vintage silver collection. You know, Phil's a salesman and I'm a buyer, and so we have to play that game. And I think I won that game this time. Although I'll let you guys be the judge of that, and I'm sure you're going to let me know in the comments. Anyway, I appreciate you guys stopping by. More content on the way. I had another trip down to Main Street Coin. That's Clay and Larry over there in Hyde Park, and I'll share that with you guys next. And me and Sil 5150 is still working on a video to post. We had some technical difficulties with the last one, and so I think we've worked those things out, so that's on the way. Anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by. Keep stacking. Peace.